And welcome back to The Wrap, everybody. I'm Joe Concha, along with Rick Unger, Noah Rothman, and Susan Solovic. ABC News anchor George Stephanopoulos now apologizing for not disclosing his donations to the Clinton Foundation. The former top advisor to President Bill Clinton has donated $75,000 to the foundation in recent years. We even have the checks. I have a feeling that's not it. Stephanopoulos now says he should have been more forthcoming.
Those donations were a matter of public record, but I should have made additional disclosures on air when we covered the foundation. And I now believe that directing personal donations to that foundation was a mistake. Even though I made them strictly to support work done to stop the spread of AIDS, help children, and protect the environment in poor countries, I should have gone the extra mile to avoid even the appearance of a conflict. I apologize to all of you for failing to do that.
Even though I was trying to save the world, everybody's blaming me for The donations are raising questions as to whether the 54-year-old can be impartial in the 2016 presidential race featuring Hillary Clinton. ABC News says it supports the anchor, calling his omission an honest mistake. But on Facebook today, Geraldo Rivera points out ABC wasn't so kind to him when he was in a similar situation. Back in 1985, 30 years ago, Rivera was fired over a small donation made to a friend running for mayor. Geraldo says the firing was really about a falling out with the ABC News president at the time. But he went on to say, and we quote, "The point is ABC treated my undisclosed $200 donation harshly because the network wanted me out for an unrelated reason. Now ABC is bending over backward to minimize and forgive George Stephanopoulos' $75,000 donation to the Clinton Foundation because he is central to the network's recent success. The donations look like he's trying to buy continued access to the family he served so loyally as a political operative in the 1990s. Stephanopoulos has agreed to not have any role in the Republican primary debate ABC News is planned to hold. That's early next year. But the newsman is the latest network anchor to land in hot water recently. NBC News still grappling with the revelation made earlier this year that Brian Williams had embellished a 2003 reported trip he made to Iraq, among many other fabrications and gross exaggerations. Is ABC making the right decision, Rick Unger? Should he have at least been suspended?
Well, first of all, as much as I always like to see Geraldo put himself at the center of every story he can, the logic there was completely faulty. Yeah, he probably should be, but not because he made the donation, because if it's a problem with him making the donation, I want to know why it's not a problem that Fox News also donated to the Clinton Foundation.
And the Bushes.
And the Bushes did, and by the way, Rupert Murdoch held a fundraiser for Hillary Clinton not all that long ago.
Can I answer your question?
Sure.
It's because he did not disclose.
Didn't disclose, that's
before
exactly
interviewing
right.
the guy who was criticizing
Right.
the Clinton
But
Foundation.
see, when I hear all this, I'm hearing, should he be suspended or should he not be involved because he made the donation? No, that's not the problem.
No.
The problem is he didn't disclose the donation, and he should have. He's had ample opportunity. He sat on Jon Stewart a month ago talking about how other people were giving money to the foundation to buy influence, never mentioning that he had done it.
Right.
So, yeah, I got problems with what he did, sure.
Precisely. But if this was just a regular charity, as he said, saving the world, there really wouldn't be an issue here. Because it is such a political institution is what you have a real problem with. And actually, what he said the other day, he said something very different. He suggested when this came out, he gave a statement saying that, well, I thought all my donations were public knowledge, meaning that the implication there is all my colleagues in the journalism business should have been investigating me, and they should have called me on the fact that I never made these disclosures myself.
He said I should have gone the extra mile. The extra mile?
Right. Exactly.
Because everybody's looking at your tax return.
It really is your fault that I'm in this hot water because you just weren't doing enough digging.
So do you suspend him if you're running ABC?
I would actually, yes, I would suspend him from campaign coverage, which means you can't cover this 2016 cycle, which means you're essentially you're out of the journalism.
He hosts This Week on Sundays. It's a Sunday political talk show.
Yeah.
That means he has to remove himself from there altogether.
Precisely.
Okay.
But you can't cover the campaign. So what can you do? I mean, you can serve as the news director if you want.
Or you could. Well, he's also co-hosted Good Morning America.
Right.
So still continue to do
So
that
you
because
could do
it's
public
mostly
stories
fluff.
in the morning. Yeah,
exactly. Susan, you were once an ABC News contributor. Everybody remembers this.
I was.
Did you
yes,
ever
indeed.
encounter Mr. Stephanopoulos in the halls of ABC?
I certainly did, and this does not surprise me at all. I was actually on the set. He was getting off the set. I walked over to him, being the friendly little girl from Missouri. I stuck out my hand, introduced myself, said, you know, we chatted for a little bit. Afterwards, the security guard came over and yelled at me and explained that you do not speak to Mr. Stephanopoulos unless he speaks to you. And I thought, really?
Really?
So the next week when I saw him at the GMA studios, I walked down the hall, he was walking the other way. I said, hey, George, how you doing? Hey, sorry I talked to you the other day. I didn't know I wasn't supposed to. I mean, after all, who does he think he is? But, you know, for getting $75,000, just, whoops, it slipped my mind, an honest mistake. I've been on boards, Joe, and I have to say, even small little boards of directors, you have got to disclose anything that might even give the essence of a conflict or something that might be improper.
Absolutely.
And he should know that better than anyone.
And you know what he should have done? Very simple thing. Donate to a Bush charity, right? This is before.
Right.
Just so you could say, all right, yeah, I am trying to save the world through various foundations that, oh, by the way, are held by GOP and
Also,
Democrat.
keep
We
in
got to
mind,
go. I'm sorry.
no
Coming
one
up
knew it
next, a
would blow up
new
like that.
bill on food stamps. You won't believe it. Come back.